Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I mean, seriously, it does not work. Well, we are here in Miami, and finally, after the first day with the weather being really, really cold and windy, the second day being a monsoon. Yesterday, the weather was perfect, and it looks like today the sun has definitely beginning to come up, and it's going to be a wonderful day here in Miami as everything gets set up for the Super Bowl. The city is still in the transformation of going from everyday Miami to the Super Bowl city. And the Super Bowl was more than just, Kansas City versus the 49ers. This is a celebration of everything that is football. This is the last taste. Now, of course, about 6 hours north of us here, we've got in Orlando the Pro Bowl going on, and people are like, well, why are you at the Pro Bowl? Because we're here getting set up for the NFL experience. United Way has a booth there, and I'm hoping that you guys will, if you're here, today and tomorrow are the best days to go because the crowds won't get here. Monday and Tuesday it's closed. Wednesday is when it really begins with the crowds beginning to descend on Miami. So we're going to be at NFL Experience. We'll do some live streams from there. We'll do some interviews. I'm doing social media for United Way and things. And if you're here, come on by, see the booth and stuff. You can't miss it. When you come in the entranceway, you've got the Lombardi Trophy. You've got the NFL Total Access over on the left. And then around on the other side, you have the Super Bowl rings. In between, right there on corner lot, it's United Way. And we'll definitely be there. I'll be bringing some of the sights and sounds. You end up having players that are coming through, executives, owners, and all that. So you never know who might be coming in, stopping by. And we'll actually give you a real look at it because we're actually there before they open. So I can kind of get you just a little taste of all that is NFL experience. Stay with us this week because I'm planning on going as many places as possible. And I'm going to tell you, come Thursday and Friday night, I've got a real treat for everybody. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. We're going to end up having a good time, guys. And I can't wait to bring you all of the sights and sounds here from Miami. Now, as far as our Dallas Cowboys go, I got to tell you, I'm loving that they got Edwards from the Vikings. You look at the amount of experience that the Dallas Cowboys have on their coaching staff right now. You have guys that have not only been position coaches, but they've been, coordinators and or even head coaches. Not necessarily successful head coaches, with Phoeben, who's going to be the offensive line coach, but he was a head coach for the Miami Dolphins. You look at Mike Nolan, who was head coach of the 49ers, but also defensive coordinator for the Ravens and linebackers coach. Okay, now you're looking at Edwards, who was, the defensive coordinator for Minnesota. The amount of experience and knowledge that the Dallas Cowboys have amassed is just incredible. And hopefully they're going to be able to take these different ideas and see, from my mind, is this. One of the problems with Jerry Jones' nepotism, where Jason Garrett, was his quarterback, de facto son, guy that he loved and everything else and wanted him to succeed. Well, between that and always hiring people who were part of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, I hate to say this, but the 90s was lightning in a bottle. It was the perfect storm. They ended up having so many things that went right that it maybe not necessarily was the system and the things that they were doing. But you've got to look at that Herschel Walker trade, which was a fleecing of Minnesota that brought great talent. You had so much talent above and beyond everybody else that I'm not sure it necessarily mattered what you're doing. When you have a Leon Letton, a Charles Haley, and all of these guys, when you have an Emmitt Smith and a Michael Irvin, a Troy Aikman, a Larry Allen, and all of these great parts. And that's one of the reasons why that worked. It was the Dallas Cowboys being down for so long and able to go ahead and draft and just be better, physically better than anybody else. Well, you don't have that. And this is where scheme comes in a lot more important. And with the Dallas Cowboys consistently looking back at trying to do what they did before, well, I'm sorry. You don't have a Larry Allen out there or Mark Stepnowski. You don't have, the Googs guys that are just beating up defensive linemen and opening up holes that a Mack truck could go through, where you can just say, we're going to bludgeon you to death. And so when you hire everybody who's been in that system with that perspective, that's the only thing you're going to continue to do. You're living life in a bubble. You're not seeing anything different. What you're thinking in your mind, well, this used to work for us, it's going to work again. Now that you've moved on from all that all the way around, now you've got different ideas, concepts, and things that you can draw from, different experiences to everything else. You can equate it to, if you've only lived in America and seen everything the way we do it here, then you go to Australia, you go to China, you go to Europe, you go all over the world, and you see how other people do things. And then when you bring it back, you say, oh, wow, I like the way they did this. I like the way they did that. And you start incorporating it into what you do. And it ends up being that you are doing something better. I hope that makes sense. And that's where I look at Minnesota's defense. You can't say that defense hasn't been good over the last few years. You look at New Orleans after the Rob Ryan time there in New Orleans, that defense turned around, and that Mike Nolan was part of that, being the linebackers coach. And you take those experiences, from him being part of, the Baltimore Ravens and, taking care of Ray, that if they can take a Jalen Smith with talent and teach and step him up, a notch or two, if you can go through with Joe Phoeben on the offensive line and come up with some different schemes of blocking and things, of opening up plays. If you end up having Mike McCarthy using a West Coast offense where instead of always trying on first down running Zeke up in the middle, that you're doing some different traps, some wham blocks, that you're doing screenplays, that you're mixing up all of these different ideas and things, that now defensive coordinators don't know, okay, first down, there's a 75% chance that Zeke Elliott's going to get a run up the middle. So let's focus with 8 men in the box. If they start focusing with 8 men on the box, then you start hitting the screens on the outside. You start play actioning. And that, my friends, is what's been missing from this team. That and discipline and accountability. Too many times, it feels like there's an arrogance about our Dallas Cowboys players, that they feel like they just need to show up because I am the Dallas Cowboys. We have too many guys that are just talking about what we gonna do instead of actually going out and doing it. And I'm hoping that this culture of being, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but basically that because they wear the star on their head, that they are entitled, that's it, entitled to being respected. We're the Dallas Cowboys, so we're going to be respected. I hate to tell you, don't nobody out there, not one of those 31 teams, respect the Dallas Cowboys. You guys are at 0 right now. You guys have to start over, and you have to make people realize that you are somebody. You have to go out there and earn it. And I'm hoping that instead of having Coach clap, we got this, guys, way to go, we'll compete next time, we'll get them next time, Johnny, that these guys are going to put a foot in ass and motivate you guys to succeed. And that next year, this time, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys turning it around and being here. Well, not here, Tampa. In Tampa at the Super Bowl. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I am ready to get on to next season. But for now, we're going to have a great time here, and I want you guys to come along for the ride. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, here comes the sun. Getting close. See you at NFLX.